what makes this app is you. And I owe you a big thank you. I just recorded like a 10-minute long video about like why I have CPTSD, and one of the hardest things about like the life that I've had and growing up is that I'm a creative soul, and my art and the way that I create has always been something that I hide, because like I grew up learning that my emotions and my feelings were too strong for those around me, and that they would get manipulated and used against me. So I have a really good like resting bitch face. I have a really good ability to like cut off communications and like cut off my own emotions. And 5 years ago, I was burnt out with life, and I had fuck, I'm just gonna keep crying on the stupid app. Whatever, we got 8 days, man. Let's go for a ride. 5 years ago, I'm burnt out. I'm like so tired. I have been like chasing the American dream. I didn't have post-secondary education. And so like, what do I do have? Like, I have like a strong back, 2 hands, and like a pattern recognition ability through ADHD that's like strong as fuck. I can work hard, and I'm doing that. And I have like a young family, and I'm like trying to struggle to work that out, but I am like burned out. And I haven't let out my creativity. And there's this, I believe it's will.i.am that talks about how like creativity, if it bottles up inside of you, it has to come out like vomit. And there was this one day that I didn't care what burned down in my business. I don't care if like anything burned down, but I was going to make art. And I took Casey Neistat's like watching him go from like 500,000 followers to like 5 million in a year, and just like him talking about content, I was like, I'm gonna make something. And I had this wagon wheel, right? Like, I grew up where the plains of Colorado and the mountains of Colorado meet, which is called the Front Range. And I grew up watching red-tailed hawks, and I had to save this wagon wheel. And the thing about all of my art and everything that I create is like, I see something and it's like it speaks to me as to what it wants to be. And so I saw this wagon wheel and I was like, man, it'd be so like what it needs to go in there is like a red-tailed hawk. And so I took 4 days of like figuring out. I had never made a metal sculpture before. I had like YouTubed how to make sculptures, and I had YouTubed how to like YouTube University for welding, and I was like, I'm gonna make this red-tailed hawk. And so I make this 1-minute video, and you watched it, and it was the first time in my life it wrecked me. It got like 500,000 views, and there were 40,000 people who were like, I love you, and like, I love the art that you're making. And it took me 3 years to figure out the emotions that came out of that fucking shit. Sorry, I don't mean to like, it was just so much emotion. I had been treated like I needed to be a certain thing, and I had hidden my art. And so to have 40,000 people just like tell me that they loved me for me, like I was showing my soul, and these people, and like, you accepted it, and it got through all the armor that I'd put on, and it touched my soul. And then I didn't know how to feel the feelings. I didn't know how to feel the emotions, and it shut me down. And it shut me down for like a couple months. I couldn't like, I didn't know how to accept it. How could the people that I grew up with that love me so much, how could they like not love me for me? But these people who don't know me, I haven't sacrificed for them. I haven't sacrificed for you. I haven't like given you my all. And you love me for me. Man. Oh, such a roller coaster. And a year and a half ago, I had this conversation with all of like my family members, stuff that like I had 2 siblings who attacked my wife and attacked the integrity of my wife and the integrity of my sister about us posting on TikTok. And I was like, I've known for like 7 years at the time that this conversation needed to be had, that my dad's a narcissist and he's controlling the narrative and he's telling everybody he's the victim, and like, who is the perpetrator is like me and my wife, which we're not, right? Like, my dad's claiming to be a victim in a situation that he's created. So a year and a half ago, I was like, hey, I know how to get the emotional train going for all of my siblings, everybody. I knew how to do it. But I gotta ask you, are you guys like ready? Because this is like, all of the emotions, like, majority of the members of my family do not know how to like get in touch with their emotions, which means that they have like icebergs of emotions and I knew how to start it. And the way that I started this big long conversation was to tell them that I was going to start telling my sides of the stories of all of our like family drama. And it ended up being this like almost like 12-hour text thread, because I needed to include everybody and there needed to be a record of it. And like eventually like the final boss, which is my dad, engaged, and it basically brought to light that all of the shit that he's been saying about me and my wife like is based in the littlest shit. And at any rate, in that conversation, my like siblings and their spouses said shit to my wife and I let that like prevent me from sharing more art with you. So I'm sorry. And now I'm like I'm really sorry, because like this app's going away, and I've tried on every fucking other like social media to like build an audience, but you guys are authentic. You're like real. You're like the people that I go to. I feel like I've been an incognito hippie my whole life. I like grew up in this like red state in church and like church doctrine, and we vote Republican and all this bigoted shit, and I hated it. Man, it wasn't until I was like 21 that I met somebody who was gay, and it didn't come out that he was gay until like six months after like I met him, and he was like the kindest person I'd ever met. And I remember when he came out as gay, I was like, my core thing is to treat people as humans. And I was like, you know what? I don't really care how somebody enjoys pleasure in their own privacy. Like, I don't give two shits about that. What I do care about is someone's heart. Who are they? How do they love? Do they see me? Can I see them? Can I give them like kindness and love? And do they accept it? So anyway, I'm so grateful for this like community. I'm grateful for like what you've given me because of that first video, and all of the love that's come since. I have like gone to therapy. I've like dealt with stuff that I had avoided for 30 plus years of my life. And I thought I'd just keep pushing on because I'm a survivor. I'm so scrappy. I can, like, every sport I've ever played, everyone's like, you're so scrappy. I might not know the technical stuff, but I know how to get up and like chase down whatever I missed. I felt so much in my life that I'm behind the ball. And I'm like, all of a sudden, I'm like getting punished for rules I didn't know were rules, and then I got to figure out those rules. And by the time I figure that out, there's like a new thing, and I hated that. And what I found here on TikTok was people who were like comfortable as them. And if I showed them my chaos and I showed them like the parts that I was vulnerable about, they were like, "That's beautiful. I love that." And that's okay to feel like you have chaos. It's okay. Hey, these are these other things like you might want to like take a look at. I think you would enjoy it. Every time I investigated, it was a blessing in my life. I'm so grateful for you that are here. So empowered. I've changed me. It's changed the way that I deal with like my relationship with my wife. It's changed the way that I parent for my kids. I'm a better person because of the information that was on this app that was gatekept by others that like was shared so freely here. Such an amazing thing. I don't even care that these videos are long. Like, I got so much love and brightness and sunshine to share, but that means that I also have like the same amount on the opposite side of like sadness and sorrow, and the times that I've had hope when the people that were around me were like, it's hopeless. It isn't worth it, right? Like, I give chances to people because, like, you know, I always wanted to have the extra chance. And this is the first time in my life where, like, a whole community gave me chances like I give to other people. And it's changed. It's changed me. It changed, like, who I am. It's changed so much. Thank you. Thank you so much. Today, I like sat down with a previous employee, and and I just celebrated her. I just sat with her and heard her stories of like the last year since she hasn't been working. She like went on to a better job, and I'm so grateful for it. I'm like, I celebrate your success. Like, go. It's what I want for all of you in this like shitty show. Like, how do we get through the next 4 years? At any rate, I love you. Have a great day.